Hello guys, today we're talking about Mock API. This video shows how we use MaskAPI Mock Mode to create Mock APIs using lambda functions for testing and development. The goal of this is to help you quickly create, get, and boost, put, delete, batch, endpoints, and test your API's logic without relying on real providers. Mock Mode tests your frontend without waiting the real backend. Mock mode lets you simulate realistic APIs so your frontend can be developed and tested before the real backend or provider is ready. Create mock responses using lambda functions, test your UI and flows instantly, simulate providers' behavior and edge cases. So let's assume that we have finished building our frontend, but we cannot ship it because we have a frontend that depends on API responses. The backend implementation is not ready yet. Waiting for box UI development and testing. Local mock data does not reflect real API behavior. Use MaskAPI platform that gives you mock mode to create mock endpoint directly in MaskAPI. Simulate real request and response behavior and test frontend flows with realistic data. Update mocks instantly as requirements change, and mock mode is ideal for development, testing, and demos. So, first of all, we need just to create a project. Then we're going to open the MaskAPI Studio. Then we're going to switch to mock mode. And after we create the mode, we will launch it. Let's get started. So, within this project, I can just start the studio and switch to the mock mode. I can choose what method I need, boost, put, delete, whatever I want. Then I can run the mask and voila, the response is here. How you control this is from the code itself. Through this lambda function, we pass the method, the mask route, the queries, the mask request headers, and also the body. The response that you see here is actually a boilerplate that we hard coded here. So you can just write whatever you want. What really good about this is that you can control the response however you want. And also you can test that in multiple ways. Let's create a post API. And for example, let's just see that I want if the user, for example, is going to send me password, or for example, email mu'tasim@mu'tasim.com, and the password is gonna be, for example, 1 3, okay, something like this. All right. If password is 1 2 3 4 5 6, I want the response to be 200. Otherwise, I want the sales codes to be 401. So let's do this. What I'm gonna actually do here is that I'm gonna just say if the mask request body password equal to this, then I want the response to be 200. And otherwise, I want the response to be 401. Authenticated data or incorrect information. Let's try this and let's see what the response is. Amazing. How about if the user changes some data? Aha. So now I can test the authentication flow in a realistic way. And I can do this through a lot of other ways. We can also check the headers. For example, I want to check if the user is going to send me, for example, authorization token. And here I'll just add some just demi data. Barrier, for example, 1 2 3 4, 5, 6, for example. And now I want the test to be based on that. Before I start doing this, let's go and check what the request header is. Run it. Check the console. Aha, found it. So we can just do this. Authorization. Pass it here, the mask. Pass it there. And let's stop this. Now let's try this out. It works. So we can simulate even data from the headers. And not just that, we can also simulate data from the bottoms as well, and so on. And if the user, for example, does not provide or does not send the authentication header, what's going to happen is that it fails. So we can run realistic operations and simulations for realistic APIs so you can test your application successfully. And after that, we can just name it however we want and launch it. And now we can just take this here and provide it here. And also we're going to send authorization barrier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Amazing. Let's not forget the project key here from the settings, and we paste it in the headers, and we're going to send it and authenticated data. Let's try this from here. Let's go to the code. Let's debug this. It works successfully. It works successfully. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.